Django Unchained is Quentin Tarantino's latest film, and it stars Jamie Foxx as Django, Christoph Waltz as his sort of mentor, Leonardo DiCaprio as supposedly like one of the sort of main villain, and Samuel Jackson as the sort of one of the sort of the old sort of slaves that these sort of black slaves from that sort of time. This film I've heard quite a bit of controversial, but I've also heard a wee bit of mixed reviews. Like some people saying it's great, some people saying it's not that good. So where do I stand? Do I stand in either of them, or am I kind of like in the middle? Now the story is absolutely fantastic. It's a really good story. There's a good couple of good twists and turns throughout the film, and what's quite surprisingly through the story is you kind of see how this one man got from where he was at the start all the way to where he is now at the end. And not going to spoil the end, but I thought the ending was actually the best part of the whole, like the third act of the film I thought was like the best part through it all. So what do I love about the film is that Leonardo, Samuel Jackson and Christoph Waltz, I think, were on top form. Leonardo DiCaprio playing a villain for like the first time that I know of, and he was actually a pretty good villain, like pretty damn good. Samuel Jackson being Samuel Jackson, he kind of was a bit more of the comic relief when he started to come on. Christopher Waltz I thought was even on top form in this. He was like the mentor, like Obi-Wan. He taught Django through the trade, and it was just interesting to see how this guy had so much like confidence sort of in him. And so yeah, also there's cameos in this film that you'll be like, oh, I recognise that guy, recognise that person, you're just kind of like, and then when it gets funny, it is funny, it's hilarious. Like the amount of N-bombs that you hear throughout this whole film is like unbelievable, but it's funny in how they kind of like they portray it, they sort of put it through, and it is actually it is pretty damn good. And some of some of the action scenes in it are quite gory, but that's kind of like the normal sort of Quentin Tarantino style. Sadly, however, I do actually have a couple of problems with the film. First off, I felt as though Jamie Foxx didn't really get good until like the third act of this film. Like I thought he was just being quite shy. He doesn't really sort of speak much. He doesn't really sort of do much either. Like there's a scene where it's like his own sort of scene kind of thing, and he sort of he goes kind of out crazy over these couple of guys. But after that, he's so tamed and whatnot. It's like, you're a bit boring right now. And one thing I kind of felt was there was something lacking in this film. I can't put my finger on it. It's just there's something lacking in it that I feel as though that there's something missing. Maybe I feel as though it went on a bit too much, or the fact it was just a bit not predictable, but it was just like you knew something was going to happen. Like in the end, that they're going to get their comeuppings. I could just not put it on. I've been thinking about it ever since, and it's just there's something about it that just makes me feel like something's missing. Like there's just something missing from it, and I can't put a finger on it. And that is the thing that I've got a problem with. There's just something in this film that is driving me a wee bit insane. I can't think what it is. Does this film have really good replay value? Actually, it does. Like I'd probably say it deserves like another showing in cinema if you're ever going, and it actually is a strong Blu-ray purchase like as soon as it comes out, because you'll probably just want to rewatch it again. And one of the best things that's about is you could fast forward, you can rewind some bits you felt maybe a bit boring, a wee bit much, but yeah, this has really good strong replay value, and I do strongly recommend it to people to watch it. I think if you really do love your Quentin Tarantino films, you'll probably love this film. Anyone else other than that, I'd still say you'll still like it. It's a pretty good damn film, and I think it's going to probably do well in the Oscars, but you know what? It's a good film and it is worth the time to go and see.